This is CBC Here and Now.
He jumped out of the truck and I just sung out, "Duck, duck, duck," and we ducked and he took 2 shots at us.
We're really scared now, and I hope something's done about this. It really has to be done because we can't stay in this province if it's not.
He would make sure that if I ever entered Hatchet Cove again, that he was going to kill me, and if he didn't kill me, he would have somebody do it on his behalf.
Scared for their lives after being shot at in Hatchet Cove.
A couple tells us what led to the shooting this weekend and why they're so frightened. Good evening, I'm Jeremy Eaton.
And I'm Anthony Germain.
A St. John's couple is afraid for their lives after a shooting in Hatchet Cove this weekend.
Edison Avery and Chris Neal say they want the public to know their story about how a family dispute turned into a criminal investigation at a quaint cabin in a quiet town. Here and Now's Ryan Cook joins us. Ryan, you've had a chance to speak with these victims. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is Merlin Price was released from custody yesterday on bail just before we went out to Hatchet Cove. Doesn't do much to temper the fears of the victims after the man allegedly used homophobic slurs and leveled a gun at their heads. Now, it's important to note that none of the allegations you're about to hear have been tested in court.
Ed Avery says he knew who was coming when he heard the crunching sounds of tires over gravel creeping towards his cabin. He says it was his brother-in-law, Merlin Price, keeping a promise after a threatening phone call last month.
He told me straight up that he would make sure that if I ever entered Hatchet Cove again, that he was going to kill me, and if he didn't kill me, he would have somebody do it on his behalf. If ever I entered Hatchet Cove again, he would know I'm here. Sure enough, he knew I was here.
While the marital disagreement is now based on this land, Avery says Merlin Price is involved for other reasons.
We go to the police every time we're threatened, and yes, they take the statements, they write it down, but there's never any mention of this is a gay hate crime.
It came to a head as Price allegedly pulled up to the cabin on Sunday. Avery said he spotted a long-barreled shotgun on his back seat.
He jumped out of the truck and I just sung out, "Duck, duck, duck," and we ducked and he took 2 shots at us. I just spoke to him and I said, "Merlin, what have you done? What have you done? Leave now." And we picked up some rocks and he jumped aboard the truck and sped away. We couldn't give him an opportunity to load the gun again.
Price was arrested hours later and charged with a number of offenses, the most serious being firing a gun with intent, which carries a minimum sentence of 4 years in prison. Avery says he's devastated it's come to this, a beautiful cabin at the center of heartbreak. It all took a toll on Avery on Sunday night with stress-related seizures.
At around 12:30 at night, I had to call the ambulance. We spent the entire night at hospital pumping him full of drugs to try to make him wake up. He would lay down, and as soon as he closed his eyes, his whole body would convulse, and he would wake up screaming, "No, no," like it was happening all over again.
I'm confident if something isn't done with him, that we will die. We will be killed by that man.
Is due back in court in Clarenville on October 4th. We've tried to contact him through family members, but we haven't heard back. Meanwhile, Avery and Neal are considering leaving the province. Jeremy?
Thanks, Ryan. We got another taste today of how the government hopes to shelter electricity users from soaring energy rates during the Muskrat Falls era. 6 years after it was booted from the controversial project by a former Tory government, the Liberals have reopened the door to Muskrat Falls for the province's energy regulator, the PUB, tasking it with examining the project for ways to reduce rates. Now, our Terry Roberts has been on that story today, and he joins us live from the newsroom with more details.
Well, yes, Jeremy, the first mortgage for Muskrat Falls is due in 2021, about $800 million a year, more than $800 million, and that number is going to grow throughout the next decades. And if no action is taken, we're being told that electricity rates in this province will nearly double to just under 23 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, the government has said that cannot happen, and today it laid the latest plank, you might say, in an evolving strategy to try and keep electricity rates in this province affordable and predictable. So Premier Dwight Ball and Natural Resources Minister Siobhan Cody announcing that the Public Utilities Board will, number one, explore ways to manage the impact of Muskrat Falls on electricity rates up to 2030, including cost savings and revenue opportunities at Nalcor's electricity subsidiaries. And number two, determine the domestic need for Muskrat Falls power and how much would be available for export. And number 3, determine the potential electricity rate impacts of the cost savings and revenue opportunities identified in question number 1. Now, through all this, Dwight Ball today called Muskrat Falls this province's greatest fiscal mistake, a price tag nearing $13 billion, and that his government is correcting a massive wrong by the Tories when it excluded the PUB from scrutinizing Muskrat Falls. He says the PUB has a proven track record of keeping electricity rates low and that ratepayers in the province should not fret about the prospect of a doubling of rates.
By bringing the Public Utilities Board back into the discussion on Muskrat, we have empowered independent experts in the field to make recommendations and to limit the financial exposure to our province.
We've asked the Public Utilities Board for their involvement. They are experts in this. They'll give us an indication of how much of the Muskrat Falls power is required for the province and how much we can actually afford to pay for that. And then the rest of it, we have committees working on other options within government.
Now, there are lots to consider here for the PUB, including whether it's more advantageous to sort of maximize the amount of electricity used here in the province to help keep rates down, or another one that was interesting today, the possibility of maximizing the potential exports through incentives to keep energy use in this province even lower. Now, an interim report will be provided to the government on February 12th. That's 6 months from now. This report is expected to paint a picture of what the gap is between the $800 million in annual debt financing and the revenue that can be generated from Muskrat Falls. Now, government has acknowledged that gap will be hundreds of millions of dollars.
Terry, you spoke with the opposition parties. What are they saying about all this?
Well, simply put, they were not impressed.
The announcement, I think, is a nothing burger, except for the fact that we now know that the government is committed to using the Public Utilities Board process, something I've been recommending to them for 2 months now. So that represents progress, but the problem is that once the Public Utilities Board identifies what he refers to, that's Premier Ball refers to as the gap, what do we do with it? We still have no means and no hint from them as to how they're going to vaporize that gap or make it go away.
This is a sham. There is nothing new that was announced here. We've been calling for the involvement of the PUB since the very beginning of this project. The Conservatives took it out from under the PUB. The Liberals have been in power almost 3 years. 3 years. And now during a by-election, they say they're going to bring the PUB in. This is fishy. This doesn't pass the smell test.
Yeah, now these recommendations, and of course these are only recommendations from the PUB, will be contained in its final report to the government in January 2020. That's a year before the first Muskrat Falls mortgage is due. And Dwight Ball also said today that expect more announcements in the coming months on further rate mitigation efforts. And he also stressed once again today that talks with the federal government, which of course are a partner in all this through the federal loan guarantee, those talks are also ongoing. Reporting live from the CBC Newsroom, I'm Terry Roberts for Here and Now.
Coming up, I'll take you to Bottomless Pond, where those 5 cabins are still underwater. I'll give you an inside look. That's tonight.
A rocky start to the school year this morning at Centerville Academy. Parents and children blocked buses from even starting their day. Now, they are protesting the provincial government's busing rules. Now, those rules say that many children less than 1.6 kilometers away from their school won't be picked up. Demonstrators said all students should be eligible to get rides.
There's soon be coming. You got rainy days, and there's no sidewalks, so it's not safety for our kids as well, right? Times have changed. It's not like it used to be years ago, right? I mean, you got people, driving fast all the time too, right? So, I mean, it's a big safety. Everything's a big safety now.
Well, to understand why parents are so upset, Here and Now's Garrett Barry took a walk with one protester along the road that his kids might use to get to school.
When you see these roads, what exactly are you thinking of when thinking about your children doing what we're doing right now?
Well, I just look at the dangers that the kids will be in walking to school. As you can see, the sides of the roads here, there's not much of a shoulder road in places, so they have to walk on the road with traffic coming behind them. A lot of speeding goes on here. You got ditches on the side of the road. It could be a 20-foot drop that some of these kids have to walk past. And one slip and they could fall over, right? For small kids, it's not very nice at all.
There's going to be a certain amount of pushback that say, okay, you know, you live in this community. I know the streets are long, but relatively close to the school compared to some parents. You're only 1 or 2 streets away, and maybe we're being too light on children, too coddled for children these days, not wanting them to walk to school. Everyone will say, you know, when I was your age. What is kind of your response to that?
Well, I agree that way. I'm not that far from school, and if the conditions were right, if the conditions were, we had the sidewalks, we had the infrastructure here, suitable for my kids to walk to school, I have no problem with it. But just the condition that we have is why I don't agree with it. As I said before, I grew up in Ontario. I walk to school every day, further than what my kids have to walk now. But we had the infrastructure, we had sidewalks, we had crosswalks, we had crossing guards. We don't have none of that here.
What do you think a fair policy would look like?
To have, like I said, they had, over the years, the buses got, I guess we're a smaller amount of people here, smaller amount of kids. The buses were practically stopping at everybody's house. There was no need for that. So we could have, you know, have group pickups, have 3 or 4 different places in the community where kids in a certain area all grouped together and got picked up in one spot instead of picking up at everybody's house. That to me would be fair. I think every town, every small community in rural Newfoundland should be looked at in a case-by-case situation, because it's not the same everywhere. Every town has their own issues. Here's a prime example here, number 1. You can see the shoulder road here. I mean, it's washed away. I mean, there's not much room for the kids to walk.
Now, we did get a response from the school district today, and it said it is going to offer 1 courtesy stop inside that 1.6 kilometer zone. That's for students at Centerville Academy, as well as some other schools, but it's going to be done on a trial basis. Now, staying with school, of course, school for bigger students. That's the MUN campus in St. John's, where students are kicking off a new semester. Coming up in about 16 minutes, Here and Now reporter and second-year university student Stephen Miller is going to tell us how his peers are dealing with back-to-school pressure.
Well, what a beautiful evening out there, but we do have some showers moving in for Labrador tonight, a good dose of rain for the Northern Peninsula tomorrow, and strong southwesterly winds for the whole island on Thursday. I'll break it all down for you in just a few minutes.
Hungry moose are opening themselves up to hungry hunters. Parks Canada says the animals in Terra Nova National Park are overeating, and that's hurting forest regrowth. In order to maintain all that green space, the national park is letting hunters in. The season starts this Saturday and runs into January. There will be 2 different hunting zones set up, and some hiking trails will be affected as a result of that. Parks Canada is advising visitors to pay attention to signage showing which areas of the park are open to hunting. The Moose Management Program uses the provincial big game licensing system, and it first started in 2011.
Well, it looks like former Premier Danny Williams is in the clear following a weekend fight at a softball tournament in Nova Scotia. A brawl broke out in the first inning after 2 players collided at home plate. Now, Williams owns the Newfoundland Galway Hitmen, who were playing BC in the 2018 Men's Canadian Fast Pitch Championship. Now, a few punches were thrown. You see, it's a bit messy there. Most of the Hitmen left the bench to join in, Williams included. Now, Softball Canada says everything was resolved that evening, and despite having a few players ejected after the fisticuffs, the Hitmen went on to win, making them 5-time national champions.
Tonight we're showing off your back-to-school photos, and this is 7-year-old Lion Keane, who goes to Cowan Heights Elementary in St. John's.
And here's Owen Walsh on his first day as a grade 1 student at Lake Crest Independent School. Owen says he wants to be a paleontologist when he gets a little bigger.
Now Aiden is off to grade 8 at Frank Roberts Junior High School in Conception Bay South.
And this fella, Grayson, starts grade 3 at St. Edward's in CBS.
We'll be back with more pictures after the break. Welcome back to Here and Now, and since it's a nice night, let's just take another quick look outside and see what it looks like. Well, there's the Mon Clock Tower.
Nice sky, not so bad.
Bit of sunshine.
It's pretty nice temperature for early September.
Yeah, yep. Sitting at about 14 degrees in St. John's right now. Have you guys been noticing how much darker it gets? How much earlier
definitely.
it is?
Yeah, it's darker when you wake up, and it's darker when you go to bed.
Feeling that now, yeah. But we do have some decent weather on the way tomorrow, at least in the east. Lots of showers for the west. Let's get started with some current temperatures. As I said, 14 degrees in St. John's right now, 18 in Badger. Along the coast of Labrador, they're sitting at 13 degrees in Cartwright. So not a bad evening out there, but Labrador is looking at some showers moving in tonight. Not a whole lot for Lab West and for Happy Valley Goose Bay. About 2 to 4 millimeters expected there. Overnight lows going down to about 9 degrees in Labrador, and on the island, temperatures between 10 and 13 degrees for most of the island. Mostly clear skies for the evening tonight. Southwesterly winds gusting to about 20, so some pretty light winds. That will be changing tomorrow, though. This is our look at the morning and in the afternoon for all the students heading back to class. This is how your morning is going to look. On the island, temperatures in the mid-teens, not too bad for western Newfoundland, starting off the day at 18 degrees. Much cooler there in Labrador, and when you get home, it's going to be looking great for the east, 21 degrees there. So that's how it's going to be looking when you get home from school tomorrow. So we do have a lot of showers in store, particularly for the northern peninsula tomorrow. You can see the system moving through. A few shots of rain there, mostly for the west, and parts of central should see a bit of that. The east largely escaping it, but what we're not escaping is the wind. We're looking at southwesterly winds 40 gusting to 60, but along the coast it's going to get up to about 80. So it is going to be pretty blustery tomorrow, but another fairly warm day, 21 degrees as the high with mostly cloudy skies. For central areas, only about 2 to 4 millimeters of rain expected for the Grand Falls, Windsor area and the Gander area tomorrow. A bit heavier though for the west coast, 10 to 15 millimeters for the Gross Mourne area. Temperatures around 20 degrees on the west coast. Now the heaviest rain is going to be Port au Choix, St. Anthony. They're going to see about 15 to 25 millimeters of rain tomorrow. A little bit less so in Cartwright, 5 millimeters expected there. So it is going to be pretty showery in that neck of the woods tomorrow. For the rest of Labrador, a few little showers in Happy Valley, Goose Bay. Cool temperatures for Lab City, 9 degrees, and northwesterly winds 30, gusting to 50. I'll have a look at the long-range forecast a little bit later. Jeremy?
Carolyn, cabins surrounding Bottomless Pond are still underwater, months after we first brought you the story. The pond, which is north of Deer Lake, rose 7 meters higher than usual this spring, and the water just never receded. Here and Now's Colleen Connors takes us inside the ruined cabins tonight and shows us how pond water can do so much damage.
The Hoyles brothers built these cabins about 5 years ago at a cost of $75,000. Their kids purchased land nearby, hoping to build someday. Those family cabin dreams are no more. There is still at least a meter of water in Mark's cabin, and Melvin's is coated in mold.
It's sad. I put everything I had into that, and now it's gone.
Bottomless Pond sits kilometers from the main road to Gross Mourne, down several woods roads. Spring thaw is normal in here. The snow melts and the ponds grow. But January's heavy rain and warm temperatures pushed silt and debris down the roads and into Bottomless Pond and made it, well, bottom out, ruining several cabins.
Right now, I don't think there's going to be anything be able to be done other than completely tear it down.
If the murky pond water had receded quicker, he could have saved his beloved getaway spot.
And this is now September, so it's soon going to start freezing. Once the water starts freezing, you're going to start getting splitting in the cabin. Yeah. So I would say the winter is going to be a tear down.
Next door, his brother tried to save his furniture and bedding by hoisting it up high, but mold covered everything.
Devastating.
Wicked.
Yeah. Mold right to the ceiling.
Did you expect that?
No. I thought it was going to be a bit of work on the bottom area that got wet, but not like that. Everything got damp.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know. There's not much you can do with it. Tear it down.
The cabins are on Crown land, and the brothers pay $200 a year to lease it. When they built, they made sure their property was way above the water line, knowing the pond would rise in the spring. Never did they think it would rise so high and stay so high.
Like I said, I have full coverage insurance on my cabin, so I thought. When I checked it out, I got overland flood and everything on my house, which I told them I want everything, same thing on my cabin, what I had on my house. They don't cover overland flood on remote cottages, they tell me.
Government told CBC in June the water levels were expected to recede with time. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Bottomless Pond.
No, that's not the Beachcombers, or is it Magnum PI? It's the Coast Guard showing off its newest vessel near St. John's this morning.
Come along, we'll take you for a ride right after the break.
The official launch today of a new theater facility for the West Coast. Ground has already been broken and $4.2 million in federal and provincial money has been announced.
But today, as he asked for public donations, the artistic director of theatre Newfoundland and Labrador spoke about the importance of the stage in Cowhead. The existing theatre is a converted warehouse and it's often over capacity. The new facility will be nearly twice the size.
We're all used to the image of the struggling artist. And I do want to take a moment to go off my script here. It's more than a building. You know, a house is more than a house, it's a home. And what this means to us, what I feel, and Aretha Franklin just recently passed away, it's about respect. Respect for the working artists in Newfoundland and Labrador. My father, Sash Pitcher, worked in the mill in Grand Falls. And he told me so many stories, stories and stories, and how many of them came in to be plays, just because he told them to me. He sat down and he told me about Tommy Ricketts. I went to high school in Grand Falls and knew nothing about Tommy Ricketts. My father sat down to tell me who Tommy Ricketts was. We went away and we wrote a play about it. That's our culture and that's what artists do. And this is about respect for those artists. There now must be, I would say, 300 to 400 working artists in Newfoundland and Labrador that work here in this province. Yes, we have the wonderful artists that are in New York and Toronto and Vancouver, but they're also working right down here on Duckworth Street and Main Street in Cowhead and in Corner Brook and in St. Anthony and in Labrador, and they all struggle to make a living. And I think that with this kind of respect and with the talk that's happening here about our culture, it's about us now gaining that respect from the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, that we do tell our story. And that is so important.
Well, September doesn't just mark the end of summer, it's also back to school season for parents, students, and professors. Here in St. John's, the MUN campus is looking more like a carnival ground as the university marks the start of its fall semester. Here now, Stephen Miller is there. So, Stephen, what's going on over there?
Well, the first day of school can be daunting, especially if you're new, but Welcome Week is in full swing here at MUN with a week's worth of activities designed to make sure that first years and returning students feel part of the campus community.
No, okay, here you go. We had the pleasure of planning different events with them. Today we had the carnival, which really went out great. We had a great turnout. And this week we have a Glow with the Flow party in the Breezeway as well, so it's going to be really fun. We have 2 top DJs coming in to play as well. We also have yoga happening on Monday for Mental Health Day as well. And we have, next week we have a few local bands playing in the Breezeway. We have soap opera, we have property, and we have mantra as well. So we're really happy to be planning this event for students.
It's really welcoming here. It's really comforting and close to home, so it's a good place to go to university so far, seems like it.
So Ryan, this is your first time at MUN. How's the experience been so far?
I mean, it's been a great experience. They had a little DJ set up today and it was fun. Everyone out here having a laugh. Tomorrow I think we're getting into the actual work part of it and then we're going to see how that goes.
It's a great experience so far. The atmosphere is pretty cool and different from high school. Lots of different faces, which is fun.
MUN has a lot of stuff. They'll provide you a lot of opportunities here. So they have everything over here. I love it here.
Any advice for students who are coming here for the first time?
It's definitely going to be different from high school as well. It's going to be different from, it's going to be a big change, but just try and adjust in. Don't stress too much about, you're definitely going to find some big, but don't stress too much. You're going to fit in well and everything's going to be okay.
Though it's all fun and games here today, classes kick off for many tomorrow, myself included, where it's back to a routine of packed lunches and early rises. Don't forget to set those alarms. Stephen Miller, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, now to a classic profile of an overachiever.
Jessica Rose has a master's degree in medical science. She works as a researcher at the Israel Institute of Technology and is now a longboard surfing champion.
Rose spent years growing up in St. John's, but moved to Israel a decade ago, and she has been surfing ever since. She won the women's title for the first ever longboard competition held by the Israel Surf Association.
Now, Rose credits her training as a flamenco dancer for her surf style of dancing on the waves, saying it's a dream to find what she was meant to do. Surf's up, Jessica. A boost from the federal government's Ocean Protection Plan means a much-needed makeover for search and rescue centres in Twillingate and Old Perlican.
That money also means a new centre for St. Anthony and equipment for crews right across the province. Our cameras followed search and rescue teams this morning for a training session just outside St. John's Harbour.
And got a glimpse of Coast Guard's newest vessel. Take a look at this.
Bennett Bay is a 62-foot self-righting Bay-class lifeboat, which will be stationed in St. Anthony later on this fall. Search and rescue is our main focus, but if there's anything else that we can assist with, if it's buoy tendering or whatever, then if that's approved from above, then we'll assist with that as well.
The Government of Canada Canadian Coast Guard is building 7 new search and rescue stations across Canada, 3 of which are in Newfoundland and Labrador. We're refurbishing our station in St. Anthony. We're also building a new station in Twillingate and one in Old Perlican. This whole initiative for the lifeboats is a $105 million capital investment with ongoing annual investment of $12 million, and we're looking at 56 new jobs across Canada. Good news.
So what we'll do is we'll proceed probably 3 miles offshore, and we'll steady up, and they'll drop us our tech down on board the stern.
Search and rescue is not about the Coast Guard, it's not about the Royal Canadian Air Force, it's about bringing the right assets to bear at the right place at the right time to save lives. So the lifeboat program is one line of defense the Canadian Coast Guard and the Federal Search and Rescue System offers. It's a wonderful asset to locate in the St. Anthony area for a quick, rapid, high-speed response to the risk in the area, predominantly fishing vessels, but certainly a good news story for the Coast Guard.
Just crossing 2-mile limit. We'll be doing some exercises here at the limit.
Roger, copy.
The St. Anthony station will be operational in the fall of 2018, and the lifeboat stations to be established in Twillingate and Old Perlican will be operational in 2019. The date is yet to be determined.
RBC and CBC are teaming up to try to find possible future Olympians here in St. John's.
And determine whether or not they have what it takes to make it to the next level and possibly be identified by an Olympic stream sport.
And I'll tell you all about it coming up.
All right, more of your back-to-school pictures right now. This is Jacob Byrne and Liam Squires Huggett. They are both 6 years old and are attending grade 1 at Beachy Cove Elementary.
And, oh, sorry, Liam's mom says they are best buddies, and they were very happy to learn that they are in the same class this year.
Yep, they look happy too.
And this is Cameron Curry, who's off to grade 1 at St. Bon's. And I know Cameron's mom, Jillian, is also a teacher, so she's back to school as well.
And Isaac Hancock is heading to grade 6 at Paradise Elementary. Voters in Windsor Lake go to the polls on Thursday, September the 20th, about a year before the rest of us. Some issues in the district are issues for us all. The candidates have accepted a here and now invitation for a by-election debate.
This is a critical by-election.
When the opportunity comes up, you step up.
Young people are worried about their future in this province.
Our troubled economy, an aging population, Muskrat Falls, and other big issues. The Windsor Lake by-election debate, Thursday, September the 6th on Here and Now, also on Facebook Live and our YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Here and Now. NAFTA talks between Canada and the U.S. resumed today in Washington, and Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister is expecting optimism about reaching a new deal.
The atmosphere continues to be constructive and positive. There is good faith and goodwill on both sides, and we're continuing to work on this.
The U.S. has already reached a new NAFTA deal with Mexico. The text of a three-way deal would have to be finalized this month because Mexico is getting a new government in December.
Britain has charged 2 Russians in the poisoning of an ex-KGB spy and his daughter in England this past spring. British authorities say the 2 men flew from Moscow to London in March and made 2 trips to Salisbury, where former spy Sergei Skripal lived. It's alleged the Russians applied the deadly nerve agent Novichok to his front door. Skripal and his daughter Yulia spent weeks in critical condition in hospital, but are now recovering in a secret location. A police officer was also hospitalized for exposure to Novichok. The Crown Prosecution Service says the 2 suspects are in Moscow and will likely remain there because Russia will not extradite its citizens.
Now back here on home soil, RBC and CBC are teaming up to find Olympic talent in Newfoundland and Labrador. The hope is to find some undiscovered athletes this weekend in St. John's. The Canadian Olympic Committee will be at the Powerplex putting young athletes through rigorous testing to see who comes out on top. Today, I met up with one of those scouts, Rod Snow, to learn a little more. Pretty quiet here at the Powerplex now, but on Sunday it's going to be a lot busier. Rod, can you tell us what we're going to see here, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, on Sunday morning we're hosting RBC Training Ground, and basically it's an athlete identification opportunity and a funding program offered by RBC where we test athletes in a variety of different physical training environments and determine whether or not they have what it takes to make it to the next level and possibly be identified by an Olympic stream sport to further their career.
What sort of things are you going to put the athletes through? What sort of training, or what are they going to show off for people like yourself?
There are a variety of tests, but there's a speed test, the sprint test, which is a 10-meter and 30-meter sprint. There's an aerobics fitness test, which is the beep test. There's a strength test, which is an isometric pull, and there's also a vertical jump test. So all those are the basic components of physical fitness that anybody scoring very high in one area or another, they could be possibly identified for an Olympic sport in which they would excel based on their physical characteristics.
So some of these athletes that are going to show up here on Sunday are going to be playing one sport or another, but they could be identified for another sport altogether. What happens then, I guess, if they're identified here? Like, where do they go next?
Anybody identified as being a high scorer in any one of those tests, they'll then go to a regional qualifier, which will be hosted in Halifax. And at that stage, depending on how they score against their counterparts in Atlantic Canada and the national competition, from that stage on, they could be identified by a national sports organization as an athlete they would have an interest in which case the NSO would reach out to the athlete, say, we've noticed you've got a great score in, for instance, if you had a very good beep test score, a very good sprint score, and you also did well in the strength component, well then maybe a sport like bobsleigh, luge, or skeleton would have a program where they would say we can take an athlete that exhibits those qualities and take them to the next level and possibly put them into an Olympic stream. So the sports understand what physical characteristics require to be a high-level performer in those areas, and based on that, they will determine whether or not the athlete would have what it takes to potentially play at that level.
And where are you going to find the athletes? Where are you hoping to draw in these athletes from? What's the age group you're looking for? Any
athlete between the age of 14 and 25 at the time of testing is eligible to compete in the program. And we expect to draw from a variety of sports. I know last year athletics is one of the biggest groups that we drew from, but also athletes from rugby, soccer. We had some ice hockey athletes, basketball. So really there isn't any limit or any kind of requirement to be from any particular sport. But if you feel like you're an athlete who is physically fit, who has trained properly and thinks they can compete at this level, this is a perfect opportunity to come in and, you know, throw your hat in the ring and see how you fare.
Well, welcome back to Here and Now. Now, before we get into the weather, let's bring some of those back-to-school photos up again.
Yeah,
here's a few
popular.
more for you.
This is Christy Burke, who's starting grade 3 at Admiral's Academy in Conception Bay South. Nice big smile. Good luck.
And this is Matthew Rideout heading to grade 4 at Beachy Cove Elementary.
And his brother, Jack Rideout, who's not loving it. He got the same idea I got about not going back to school. And guess what, Stokes? We have a surprise photo.
Yes! Look at this lovely young girl who, when she grows up, is going to be a honey tycoon.
Those bangs, those glasses.
Yeah, your glasses game is on point there.
Oh, man.
That's wonderful.
How old would you say you were in that
7?
picture?
I don't know. Must have been. Yeah,
7,
must
8,
be
something
around there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I did post this on Twitter today, hoping to get people to send in their photos of their children heading back to school,
Right.
and we're gonna have more of those on Fridays. So keep sending
We're
them
going to have
in.
more at the end of the show, too.
And yeah. So send
sending
us your.
We'll find Anthony's, but we might have to colorize it because it's probably in black and white.
Snap.
It was chiseled with a tablet. Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, things are heating up on the desk over here, but how about the weather?
Well, I thought I would start with just looking at Hurricane Florence. It's something that, we're keeping an eye on. It's hurricane season. It's the first major hurricane of the season. So this is where Florence is right now in relation to us. It's a Category 4 hurricane. So unsure yet whether or not we're going to feel any effects from this. It's still a long ways out, heading towards Bermuda there for Monday. So whether or not this is going to make landfall on the coast, there's still a lot of uncertainty, but it's certainly worth noting and worth keeping an eye on for sure. So for the forecast this evening, we're looking at some showers for Labrador starting in the west and tracking east. The northern peninsula getting the bulk of the showers tomorrow. Lots of heavy rainfall for the northern peninsula, St. Anthony, Port au Choix, about 15 to 25 millimeters of rain. And it's going to be very windy tomorrow as well, with gusts up to 80 along the coast. So the west coast will be feeling those winds as well as the east coast. So for the east, we are looking at a mostly cloudy day with temperatures around 21 degrees. And for Labrador, some lingering showers throughout the day tomorrow. Happy Valley, Goose Bay could see about another 2 to 4 millimeters of rain tomorrow. So then we get into Thursday night into Friday. You can see how it clears off, and that means there could be a risk of frost for the west coast on Thursday night. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. We have some showers moving in for Labrador on Friday for Lab West and also for Happy Valley, Goose Bay, but things pretty clear on the island for Friday afternoon. Sun and cloud, temperatures in the upper teens, 20 degrees for Central, so not too bad there, but very chilly for Lab West at 7 degrees with those showers and cloud throughout the day. So as we head into Friday night, we're actually looking at a chance of flurries for western Labrador. So and some showers for the northern peninsula. Heading into Saturday, some shower chances for parts of Labrador, and the east could see some late day showers on Saturday. 14 degrees as the high there, so we're kind of in the mid-teens here. A fairly cool weekend for Labrador, looking at about 9 degrees in the west and 12 in the east. So this is your 5-day picture for the east. Saturday, those chance of showers and temperatures staying in that mid-teens range right through until Monday. For central areas, very similar stories shaping up there, but temperatures bumping up to about 20 degrees there on Monday. Those overnight lows, very cool. You can see for sure in the low single digits as well for eastern Labrador. Mix of sun and cloud on Sunday and Monday. 20 degrees, not too bad as you head back to work. And for western Labrador, lots of showers, lots of cloud, and temperatures 16 degrees on Monday. Jeremy, that's your forecast.
Carolyn, a conservation group on Prince Edward Island is testing an unusual method to protect shorelines. They're installing retaining walls made from the husks of coconuts. Nancy Russell has that story.
This is a new shoreline, 3 layers of logs made from rolls of coconut fiber.
The benefit of it is it's natural and biodegradable, and it's a very tough fibre, so in terms of salt marsh restoration, it's an ideal product to use.
Once the coconut fiber retaining wall is in place, the crew turns on a machine they've designed called a silt gator. It scoops up sediment built up in the channel of the river and puts it here to create a new shoreline for this saltwater marsh.
There's so many benefits to restoring a salt marsh in terms of your water quality, in terms of your sediment runoff, climate change, coastal protection, and when you're taking the sediments from the river channel, you're then taken out of the river channel. It improves fish passage.
The Surrey group is trying out 3 different ways of building a shoreline: the coconut logs, spruce boughs, which they've done before, and another new technique, wrapping oyster and bar clam shells in coconut fiber to create what's called a living shoreline.
Frances actually went down to a conference down in New Orleans and she brought it back and I was like, you must be foolish. Like, there's no way that'll ever work, but now that I see it, it's working great.
The coconut fiber is expensive, about $5,000 to build this shoreline. Next, they'll plant marsh grass here to help reduce greenhouse gases and stop coastal erosion. They'll try all 3 methods for a couple of years, then see which one is most effective and affordable, and try it in a bigger area. The Surrey group received more than $278,000 for the 4-year project through the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, with the hopes this idea will someday help watershed groups across the region.
There's some raised eyebrows, I assume, first going through it, but I think they're all watching us pretty carefully. And if this sort of thing works out pretty good, I would think that it won't take them long before they start jumping on the bandwagon.
Watershed coordinators from across the island will visit this site later in September to see the silt gator and the coconut fiber shoreline. Nancy Russell, CBC News, Surrey.
6 conservation groups are suing the federal government for failing to protect British Columbia's endangered orcas. They say the Ministries of Environment and Fisheries must act immediately to improve the whale's food supply. Chinook salmon.
We need much more aggressive action on recovering Chinook populations. We likely need to be closing fisheries that are on these migration routes and increasing the abundance of Chinook salmon within critical habitat.
A lawsuit cites the government's failure to issue an emergency order to protect the killer whales. Only about 75 of the orcas remain in the region, and there have been no successful births since 2015. Conservationists are also calling for more control of marine traffic. Noise from ships hurts the whales' ability to communicate and hunt. Ottawa says it's spent $170 million in a whale protection plan over the past 3 years.
Groups that help welcome refugees to Canada often plan outings to help newcomers adapt to everyday life, trips to the local grocery store, for instance. But a settlement group helping Syrian, Iraqi, and Palestinian refugees in Gatineau, Quebec, decided on something different. For one excursion, for instance, they took about 60 newcomers on a tour of some local farms. And that visit included stops at a cider house as well as a vineyard. The tour aims to show off the region's rural area, help newcomers with their language skills, and better connect them to the larger community. It's the second field trip that the group has organized, and judging from some of the happy faces and the sunshine there, it looks like it's something of a success.
Here's today's viewer photo of the day. Isn't this a beautiful scene? Like liquid gold, that water looks like. I'll let you know where in the province this was taken after the break.
You got anything eaten?
I know. I'm just trying to look for pictures in the clouds. Or is that last night?
That's last night, yes.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Now, throughout the entire show, we've been sharing your 2018 back-to-school photos.
And thanks for tweeting them and emailing them as well. When you do these kinds of things, you're never quite sure how many you're going to get. So we got quite a few, so keep them coming.
So this is Mary Jane Gallant. Full disclosure, she is my niece.
How many people are you related to today?
I just know lots of people, Anthony. I'm from St. John's.
Okay, yeah.
Mary Jane Gallant is heading to grade 1 at St. Mary's, and you can see that she just lost her front tooth, which she is very happy about.
She seems very happy with that.
Nice. Tooth fairy visit, right?
And this is Nicholas Roach, starting grade 8 at St. Paul's Junior High, but would rather be salmon fishing on the West Coast.
He's a guy after your own heart, Anthony.
Yeah, I can't blame him.
And here's Aaron and Evan Fulford, both back to school at Junior Ridge in Torbay.
And here's a picture of Just waiting for it. Here we
There
go.
we go.
There we go. So
Sure.
Sophie
Picture.
Roach, obviously, we just saw her brother who's going to grade 6 at Mary Queen of Peace, armed with her fishing rod. And you guessed it, that's Nicholas's sister.
And let's see, who else do we have going back to school? That's Abigail Tucker, headed for 2nd grade at Bishop Field. And a nice, beautiful harbor backdrop there. What a day it was.
Yeah, Jesus.
And we have more. The Gresham boys are all headed for grade 3 this year.
Wow.
Are they triplets?
Yeah, I'd
They
say.
must be.
Again, math not my strong suit.
That's
No.
Stephen, Luke, and William.
There you
My
go.
goodness, what a trio there.
Yeah, 3-for-1 sales after there. Now, we couldn't get to all of the pictures that we got today, but we are going to try to get some more of them. Obviously, this is the big back-to-school week, so we'll get them more on Friday. Tomorrow, of course, big debate that we'll talk about in just a bit. But thanks a lot for sharing all that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is our viewer photo of the day. Love this one. This was taken in Robert's
Oh,
Arm.
Robert's Arm.
Nice spot.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. You can kind of see the ray of light there from the sunset. And Daryl Savory sent this in. It's actually at Crescent Lake in Robert's Arm.
Now, tomorrow night's edition of Hair Now is going to be a little bit different. Anthony, you want to tell us what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's right. As you probably know, if you've been watching the show, we've been promoting the fact that tomorrow we're going to have a debate. Of course, the big by-election is happening 2 weeks from tomorrow, actually. So we invited the candidates from Windsor Lake, and we're going to discuss various issues. You guys will be doing a short news and weather package right off the top. So we'll have the news of the day and your weather, and then we'll shift to a debate. And hope you'll tune in. It should be quite interesting.
A lot of people are going to be paying attention to this by-election.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The interesting group of candidates.
Yes, it is. And anyhow, I hope you'll tune in tomorrow. We'll talk about politics, lots of issues. The candidates were told we want to talk about the economy, unemployment, and of course, Muskrat Falls, among other things. So it should be an interesting evening, or at least we hope so. And let's face it, we're all going to be voting next year. So anyhow, hope you tune in.
That's it for us. Good night, everyone.